Okay, there we go. Should I do another Kingdom Hearts 13 after all these, or should I go right to the DLCs? Let's see. Is that thing being on? Oh, okay. I can work on this later. Hello, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Game Hub. I'm your host, GamerK's, and you kind of caught me in a bit of a writer's block a little bit. I'm trying to figure out what other lists to do after I'm done all my Kingdom Hearts lists. Got about a couple more to go after this one, so yeah. I'll be doing DLC reviews, which hopefully aren't as difficult to do. But to end my top 13 of the Kingdom Hearts enemies list are going to be the Dream Eaters. Now, I kind of remembered that I didn't really explain what these enemies are for people who are watching this and have no idea what Kingdom Hearts is. So I figured I might as well do a quick recap. Hopefully I won't be doing that much throughout my future videos. So to start off, the shadows are pretty much the main ones. They're the evil darkness within people's hearts. So whenever someone has dark thoughts, they pretty much create the Heartless and attack the area. So pretty much Las Vegas would definitely be filled with Heartless by now. The Nobodies happen when someone with a strong heart is turned into a Heartless and their body leaves them, creating these empty husks. Which I gotta admit, one thing I didn't really talk about during my Nobody video is I do like how all of them move like they have no bones in their body, showing that it's just their body moving as a lifeless husk. The Unversed are the animations of negative emotions within people. So whereas the Heartless are of the darkness in someone, the Unversed are controlled by negative emotions. The Dream Eaters are a little different. Within the sleeping worlds throughout Dream Drop Distance, these are split into two categories. The spirits who assist you throughout the game that you create via the Tamagotchi system in the same way that you would create items. It was a fun idea, but I could never finish because I could never finish the Rayo Dragon for some reason. And the Nightmares, which I'll be talking about, which are pretty much the same thing, just darker in color, and pretty much that's it. And they're all animal-based, except for 2 flowers and 2 ghosts. But mostly the animal ones got on my list. So, without further ado, let's do GamerK's top 13 Kingdom Hearts enemies, Dream Eaters. Starting in the list at number 13 is the Yogi Ram, which is pretty much a stag deer with horns for its horns, like musical instrument horns. I do love the idea of this enemy. It's really cool to look at. They did the big puffy fur up the front for the chest. They did the horns very well, and he does charge at you while he's shooting flames out of him. And he does do some sound attacks, which are really cool for the design for the enemy. It's low on the list because, unlike the previous ones, I never found after completing Prankster's Paradise, I never really used them again, except for, doing that arena battle thing, which was actually the only fun thing to do with these guys, so, yeah. Coming in at number 12 is weirdly enough, one of my favorites, the Juggle Pup. This is one of the few ones that really, I love the design of this. It's pretty much a seal that stands on its tail as feet, like as you would see in cartoons, and it attacks with a dice, which I find very, very fun. I mean, the dice have Sora's face, they have different attacks. It's fun. It adds a little luck into fighting these enemies. I mean, they're not that difficult of enemies, but I love them. So, yeah, any gambler always gets on my list. Coming in at number 11 is a weird one, the Ducky Goose. Yeah, saying that name, it would not be that threatening, but it comes later in the game. Its body is pretty much of a fat duck with a giant mouth in its stomach. I really do like this enemy. The color palette's very nice, being it kind of yellowish with the inside of the mouth being a darker pink. And pretty much the entire enemy is pretty fun. It attacks with its long tongue. The way it moves is hilarious. So pretty much just the design, and it's kind of a comical enemy, because I think every game should have a comical type of enemy that when you fight it and you look at it, it just brings a grin to you, and it does it without fail, the Ducky Goose, and even the name is hilarious. Coming in number 10, the Electricorn. Another late bloomer for this level, and yeah, I'm realizing a good number of these on the list have other enemies that are exactly the same, just different animals. But they do kind of do the same type of attacks, so just wanted to point that out for anyone who doesn't know Kingdom Hearts. So the Electricorn is pretty much a unicorn that flies without wings, like it gallops into the air, and it's basically does electrical attacks, as the name implies. I do really love this enemy. I mean, I love all the enemies on this. I don't have to keep saying that. The Electricorn is kind of basic. I mean, the whole unicorn horn is in the shape of a thunderbolt. I think a whole bunch of card games have done this concept when they do a unicorn character where they change the horn into something. So it's low on the list because of its kind of an obvious design type to do for this kind of animal to make it into an enemy. So yeah, it doesn't get that far on the list. Coming at number 9 is an early favorite of mine, the Toxamander. This salamander gecko creature that is enveloped with poison attacks. And I'm surprised that a lot of enemies in video games don't use poison attacks that well. Poison attacks are fun for me because it's something that's not used, and when I played Pokemon, poison types were a big thing for me. I was lucky enough that my favorite ghost type Gengar is half poison, so it made him one of my favorites as a kid. What can I say? But Toxamander is a really fun enemy to fight. They dive into the earth via their poison pool, and they can move around. They spit these poison bubbles at you. They can use their tongue to attack. And just the way they flop around like a fish out of water, it gets me every time. A very quick, early personal favorite, and I always try to bring these guys near the end if I can. So, yeah, I kind of want a pet gecko now, so I can just name him Geckoizen. Because just like Pokemon, whenever you create one of these enemies, you can give them funny names, and I always name mine Geckoizen. Gecko and Poison. It was fun, and it was clever. Coming in at number 8 is the Pepetza-Hu. Seriously, am I pronouncing this thing right? This is what happens when you piss off an owl. Pretty much a standard flying enemy, and there are a couple in this game, but for some reason this one's getting on the list because of how cool it is. It's kind of a miniature owl, and its eyes will do the searchlight thing, and if they searchlight you enough, they'll start attacking you. So they'll only think of them like the nightmare version of the Search Ghost. They'll look around for you, and once they get you, they'll keep attacking. And the way they attack is very fun. They'll either swoop dive you or sky attack you for Pokemon fans, and they'll use their feathers as shurikens, or if you've ever played Donkey Kong Tropic Freeze, just like how Scowl, the Area 2 boss, attacks you with its feather daggers. It's a very fun enemy. Pepetza-Hu gets on the list for just being fun and overall enjoyable. Number 7 is the second one that you get in the game, the Komori Bat. This one, I think, is adorable. I love the fruit bat design. I love how small it is and how it doesn't really have long feet, and its wings are so... I just love the design of it. The wings are kind of narrowed out. The head's more of the focus, being a poofy bat. You get a whole bunch of these in a fighting arena, and it's pretty much like fighting a horde of Zubats, except when you don't have Repel. And they do a lot of Zubat attacks. They do supersonic, they do wing attack, and it's just fun. I love how this is kind of how some of these enemies call back to Pokemon a little bit. I'm not sure if that was intentional, but if it was, perfect. I just only wish that we could have fought a Dream Eater boss where they turn into like a giant bat. Oh wait, they did. We got Gargoyle and it sucked. So, back to the Komori Bat. It's an early on enemy, it's an early on companion, and I love it to death as one of my personal favorites. But it doesn't get higher on the list because a couple others beat it out. Let's continue. Commander number 6 is the Fishbone. Kind of like the Fin Fatale, which is like a piranha. The Fishbone is, as its name suggests, it's a skeletal fish that's smaller than the other fish enemy in the game. But this one does things a little different. While with Riku, it unlocks the Dark Aura ability, ability for Riku. And it works very well, so you don't have to have Komori Bat with you the whole time. And the design is really cool. It's the spikes all over its body just make it look so menacing. And you think a skeleton fish wouldn't work. Play Super Mario Galaxy and go fight King Finn. You'll see how threatening a skeleton fish can be. But yeah, these guys spout out dark water. They dive into the ground and come at you randomly. And to avoid damage, they'll fall apart and just cackle with their mouths open. So this enemy was a hook, line, and sinker, and it was a hell of a catch for them to put this in this game. Commander number 5 is the Tyrannorex. This one is pretty much what you expect. It's the biggest one they have compared to its skeleton version. But the Tyrannorex is pretty much like this giant T-Rex, and I love playing with mine. I do hate the Tamagotchi system for Dream Drop Distance, but I kind of enjoy it at the same time just because you get to pet these creatures, and it's just so cute seeing him wag his tail like a dog. But the enemy is so ferocious. It bites. Once it gets its teeth in you, it will toss you around. Its tail attack is devastating. Not to mention it can shoot fire at you. And being the biggest, you'd think this would be near the top 3. Nope. I got a rule. If an enemy is ever used for a boss or an event boss battle, it has to be taken down a notch. And this one is technically considered in a boss level, as a boss during the Country of the Musketeers Sora's story, where you have to defend the carriage and defeat this thing while you're on the carriage. So basically, you just gotta stack your deck with Balluna and long-distance magic attacks, and you're pretty much guaranteed not to die. If you manage to die during this event, you are a very special kind of stupid. So, yeah, this thing will definitely make you go extinct if you are that kind of brand of stupid. Commander number 4 is the Zolifant, which this one was just fun. Think Dumbo, but bigger. Hang on, let me rephrase that. Think the Dumbo summon from Kingdom Hearts 1, but bigger and a whole lot more useful. The Zolifant comes around during, I'm not even going to pronounce the name of this world, so basically the Hunchback of Notre Dame world. It's giant. It's massive. It can toss a boulder at you with its trunk. Are there any elephant Pokemon? Are there any elephant Pokemon? No? Huh. You think they would have made some. I mean, why not? Anyway, back to the Dream Eater. It also it also hydro pumps you with its hose, and get its HP low enough, it will go on a rampage like a whole bunch of new brides at a discount bridal store. And yeah, if you've ever seen Friends, you know exactly how vicious women can be at a discount bridal store. One of the reasons why I'm never getting married. But back to the enemy. It's a fun enemy. It's very useful late game. And if you need to get in some water attacks, it's pretty much just the perfect linchpin. Alright, we're getting into my top 3. Coming on number 3 is the Thunderwrath. This one comes in semi-late in the game. It comes in the second visit to Traverse Town. And as you would expect, it's a giraffe enemy that is another electrical type enemy. And the color scheme they use for this is just perfect for the enemy. Instead of being traditional, you know, yellows and gold, it's kind of burgundy, which is a dark brown red, and it's kind of purplish and light purple in the neck. And just seeing this thing dash about the area, this is a better version of Zebstrika from Pokemon. Yeah, too many zebras, not enough giraffes are used as cool enemies in video games. This giraffe, it's fun to fight, and plus they use laser attacks. And plus, if a whole bunch of them are around, it's very difficult to attack. It's very difficult to defend when a whole bunch of them can zip past you and then charge at you at the same time. So yeah, the Thunder Raft, based on design, its elemental attacks, its attack status, how late it comes in the game, and the fact that it's not your generic electric coloring with yellows and golds, like I said, it gets number 3 on my list. Coming in at number 2 is the one I've never been able to create for myself, the Rayo Dragon. Another latecomer, because you gotta get so many materials late game in order to get this guy. I think I categorize it as kind of a dragon / weasel, seeing its design. It looks so badass. The purples, the light blacks on it, the dark purples, there's just the design of it is a fun in and of itself. And its attacks always get me. It's one of the toughest enemies I've ever fought in the game that's caused me to die so many times. It can create a crossfire and dash at you. It can spin around in flames. It can fly as well as attack you from the air, from the land. So it's it's air and land enemy, and it works. This is how you do it. This is how you create an interesting enemy with design, color, and the premise. It's fun. It's a cool enemy. I don't know how I can top it. Oh wait, yes I can. Coming at number 1, my number 1 Dream Eater enemy is the Kiba Tiger. I was gonna put the Aura Lion on here because it was the one to show up first, but the Kiba Tiger just looks so much cooler. Basically, they're both the same. The one's a lion, one's a saber-toothed tiger. The saber-toothed tiger one is number 1 on my list because yes, the lion is so super cool, but everyone uses a lion as an enemy a lot in video games. It's true. Lions are basically one of the whenever I watch a video game and they do a lion for an enemy, like in God of War, which they always do some type of lion, they never use tigers that much, which is kind of sad, which is why, and this is kind of off category, if they ever do a good Assassin's Creed game in India and have a tiger be an enemy, I think that would be a very smart idea. Just throwing it out there. But the Kiba Tiger's attack range go from clawing you to biting you to creating its giant aura and lunging at you. I love their ability to create mirage versions of themselves that grow and attack you. Just riding on one of these things as a partner and just striking them with those aura creations, it's fun in and of itself. So yeah, for its design, for its somewhat similar attack style from another enemy, but also the color palette of it isn't traditional orange and black. It's kind of gray with neon green around the edges. So, based on all that, the Kiba Tiger gets my pick for my number 1 Dream Eater enemy. And that was it for my enemies lists, and it took me a little bit while. So, how am I going to end my Kingdom Hearts lists? Well, let's see. What's next? Let's see. Okay, we're going to end it off with a big bang. Coming up next, well, not next, but next week, my top 13 favorite Kingdom Hearts characters. I'm going to give you guys a little guess. Well, not a guess. I'm going to let you guys who watch this, for those of you who know Kingdom Hearts, guess who my favorite character is. I may have said it once or twice on my videos. Hope you guys enjoyed my list. Like, comment, subscribe down below, and share. I want to get as many people as watching this. I don't want this. You know what? I'm just going to leave it at that. This is GamerK's, logging out.